guys, today I have a really exciting video for you. I'm going to be reviewing the Too Faced Cocoa Contour Chiseled to Perfection Contour Kit. I was so excited to receive this contour kit, and I love Too Faced. I love everything that they stand for. Everything Too Faced I own, I'm in love with. So when I saw that they were coming out with a contour kit, I knew it was going to be amazing. You get 4 shades. You get a matte highlight, a contour shade, a bronzing powder, as well as a shimmery highlight. So you're getting 4 shades in this one little palette. You even get a brush, which is called their Contour Buki. I usually don't like the brushes that come in kits because they're usually pretty gimmicky and I usually just throw them out. But this one really gave me a chiseled look. So I'm going to go through the colors. The first shade that you get on this side is Light Cocoa. This shade is perfect for brightening as well as emphasizing, so I like to use this brightening powder underneath my eyes to set my concealer. I also like to do a reverse contour, which I will be demoing. Contouring has been all the rave, and I feel like a lot of people are having problems finding the perfect contour shade. Medium Cocoa is perfect for contouring because it has a gray tone. When you contour your cheekbones, you want to mimic a shadow, and that's why you want to use a cool tone color. You do not want to use an orange or very warm tone bronzer just because it's gonna just look very obvious. You want to create the illusion that your cheekbones are a lot slimmer and a lot more defined. I personally love this shade because it's not too warm and it's not too cool. Sometimes when you use a too cool color on certain skin tones, it can look easily muddy, but this one definitely doesn't. It gives you the perfect medium. It's not too cool, it's not too warm. This next shade is called Dark Cocoa, and I love it for bronzing up my face. I like using Medium Cocoa for definition and then Dark Cocoa for color and warmth and dimension. And then lastly you get this color, which is called Pop of Light, which I'm wearing on top of my highlight. I love it. It's a nice shimmery glittery color. It's perfect to really just bring light to your face. I like using Pop of Light on top of my highlight because it does have noticeable glitter, but it's very soft and buttery, so it doesn't look chunky. And I like to apply this on the top of my cheekbones, on the bridge of my nose, on the tip of my nose, and on my chin to really emphasize those areas and bring them forward. You use a darker color where you want to recede your features and a light color where you want to pop them out and kind of like embrace them. So I like to really showcase the under eye. I like to really brighten it. It comes with 3 looks. It comes with the instant cheekbones, the skinny sculpts, and the celebrity contour, which is what I did today, the celebrity contour, which just has a more dramatic look. You're using all of the colors and you're really just bronzing, contouring, highlighting, and also using a shimmer. So I personally always use the celebrity contour, but you can just use, 2 of the shades or 3 of the shades or all 4 like I did. Contouring definitely makes a big difference, and that's why so many companies have been coming out with contour kits. I own so many different contour kits, and this one has been my favorite. The colors are just spot on. They are exactly what I was looking for, and they perform so beautifully. I love that it's an all-in-one kit. I love that it's small, and I love that it smells like chocolate. It's amazing. So I'm going to show you how I went from flat to defined and contoured in under 10 minutes. I think I even spent under 5 minutes just doing the contour. It's super quick, super simple, and I'm in love with this palette. I will also have a before and after picture on Instagram just so you can see how amazing this stuff works. So if you'd like to see how I use my Too Faced Cocoa Contour Chiseled to Perfection kit, then keep on watching. So to highlight my face, I'm going to start off with the shade Light Cocoa, and I'm using a pointed brush just so I can get underneath my eyes, and this is just going to help brighten underneath. You want to apply the lightest color to the areas that you want to emphasize and bring out. So what I like to do is highlight underneath my eyes, in the middle of my forehead, and also my chin. And I like to just kind of do underneath my eye, and I like to bring it pretty far back towards my hairline. And as you can see, it's like an instant eye lift. You really just look well rested and a lot brighter. This is also going to double as a setting powder for your concealer so that it doesn't crease. It's just going to mattify it and really just bring your features out. You also don't want to bring this color too low, so you kind of just want to keep it in this little triangle area, and it's really going to brighten up the under eye. Next, we're going to be using Medium Cocoa, and as you can see, this color is a lot grayer and a lot cooler than this one, which is called Dark Cocoa. So I'm going to use the Contour Buki brush that comes in the set. This color is a lot grayer, it's a lot cooler, so it's perfect for a contour. You want your contour to mimic a shadow, and so shadows are very cool tone, very gray, so that's why this color is perfect for a contour. And you want to just top off any excess, and then you're going to locate your cheekbone, and you're going to place this color underneath. These products are very pigmented, so you want to have a light hand, and this brush is angled, so it's perfect to locate your cheek and your cheekbone. So I kind of already know where mine is, and as you can see when I talk, you can kind of see it. I don't have any contour color on right now. You can kind of see my cheekbones, so I kind of just follow the natural pattern. I like starting back here just because you're going to get more product there, and then without adding any extra, you're going to just bring that forward. You don't want a lot of product in this area, and you don't want to go too forward. You kind of want to stop like where your eyebrow kind of ends. My eyebrows are pretty long, so I like to just blend it forward, and I kind of just curve it upwards to create like a natural looking cheekbone. So I like to kind of bring it upwards. Instead of just doing like a straight line, I like to kind of curve it towards the back. This side looks very flat where this side looks chiseled, and we're going to be blending and adding warmth to our face, but the contour alone really makes the biggest difference. So you locate your cheekbone and then blend forward. I also like to bring the contour shade underneath my jawline, and this is going to create a nice shadow underneath there. Especially in photos, you will notice what a big difference contouring your jawline makes. And then you want to do a little bit underneath your chin. And I'm also going to lightly contour my nose, and contouring the nose can be very tricky. I like this brush because it's very small and precise, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of the contour shade underneath my nose and then on the sides of my nose. And I like to pinch my brush and just lightly contour my nose. And I'm using the same medium cocoa shade. After contouring my nose, I always apply a light color to the bridge of my nose, and I'm using the light cocoa, and I'm just applying this to the center and then on the sides to kind of blend everything out a little more. I like to use the dark cocoa shade. It's a lot warmer and it's perfect for bronzing, and I'm using a Sephora Pro Contour number 74 brush. I like to apply this on my temples and really bring it towards your hairline so that you don't see any obvious demarcation lines. I'm also using the dark cocoa over the contour just to kind of bronze up my cheeks. I like doing back and forth as well as circular motions to really blend everything out. You don't want to have any harsh lines, so I like to really blend everything out. And I'm using a Marc Jacobs bronzer brush that is clean to really just blend everything into the foundation so that it all looks seamless. I like to apply my blush over the bronzer and contour. And since I like a more angled look, I don't really apply too much blush to the apples of my cheeks. I kind of just focus it towards the back and then just kind of push back, just like I did with the bronzer, and then apply a little bit to the apples of the cheeks. And if you're having a hard time with your blush, do a little smile and then just apply the blush wherever your cheeks are, and you can apply a little bit onto the apples and then just push back. This is going to give you a more angled look, and it's going to blend right into the bronzer and contour so that it doesn't just look like blush and then a contour. It kind of just looks like one. So you still have this contour line, but I like to apply bronzer and blush right onto my cheek just to give it a little more color, a little more dimension. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that another trick that I have for you is to apply the light cocoa shade underneath your contour, or any light shade underneath, to really clean up that line. Sometimes you'll get a little bit too low with your bronzer and your contour, so this is really going to clean everything up, and you don't want to apply too much. For me, this shade works, but if you are tanner, you want to use something a little closer to your skin tone. But this one works for me because it really just blends out and it kind of just blends into my foundation. So as you can see, it gives you that really clean, sharp edge. It's not everyone's preference, but I personally like my contour to look very crisp and defined, kind of like you just cut through your cheeks. That's just the way I like to do my bronzer. Now this palette does come with a highlight shade, which is called Pop of Light. It gives you a nice iridescent glitter. It has gold tones, silver tones, and even some pink shimmers, but I like to apply a highlight first and then apply the Pop of Light as like a shimmer on top of the highlight. I know that sounds like a lot, but I personally have been loving the Too Faced Candlelight Duo, and I like to just swirl my fan brush inside, and you're going to apply the highlight on the highest point of your cheeks. So I kind of just go back and forth over my cheekbones. I also bring my highlight to the actual apple of my cheek and then backwards as well. You don't want to apply the highlight too high or too low. You kind of want to just apply it over your blush and then just bring it backwards and then bring it a little bit forward and down just to really blend that out. Highlighting is really going to bring those features out, so I like to put some on my nose and on my chin just to bring those features forward. If you apply some to the tip of your nose, it's going to give you a more button nose appearance, which I personally like. I also like to apply some to the tops of my brows because this is really going to lift that area and give you like an instant eye lift. Now, I did use another highlight that's not in the palette, but you can definitely get away with just using the Pop of Light as your highlight. I personally just like to layer my highlights, but you really just get everything in one palette. You can definitely get away with a lighter contour. I did the full glam look with this because you do get like a darker shade and a lighter shade, but you can customize it. You can just use the contour shade or just use the bronzer. You can just use the highlight. You know, you can mix and match. You can definitely manipulate this palette to have a more glam look or a less glam look. You don't have to do full on glam. You can just use one of the powders, but it's awesome because it's super travel friendly. It's this little small box and you get everything in one. The only thing you would have to add is a blush, and honestly you can just get away with using bronzer as a blush. I know a lot of people don't like blushes, so they would just use the dark cocoa all over their cheeks just to give them a more bronzy look and not so much of like a pink glow. I'm absolutely obsessed with this contour kit. I think you guys should definitely get your hands on it. You're basically paying $10 per shade, which is pretty awesome because the quality is definitely amazing. It's one of my favorite palettes. This has been my go-to contour kit. It's different than any other contour kit that I have because the colors aren't too gray and they aren't too warm. I definitely give this product a thumbs up, and let me know if you have any other questions, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye guys. Light cocoa, and I'm gonna use this. I don't have a double chin. And if you want to basically, now I don't really have a large forehead. Now my forehead isn't too large. No, that's so horrible. Be right back. BRB. Since I like a more angled and kind of, since I like a I was so excited to get my hands on this contour kit. Very close to gray, but a lot of I hate living in New York sometimes.